Been pretty sunny this week, hasn't it, Karl?
Yeah. Wonder if anyone's going to be able to tell.
You look like you wear like white armbands.
I've got Neapolitan ice cream arms. Since I'm fairly positive that everybody watching this already knows who both the Duke of Wellington and Carlton Banks are, the demographics of this channel are amazing, I'm just going to say that the Duke once danced a dance very similar to the Carlton dance danced by Carlton in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yes!
There's going to be someone watching, just one person out there who doesn't know who either of these people are.
Potentially, yes. So shall we explain who they are?
Yeah, so who was Wellington?
Well, he was a famous Duke, as his name, the Duke of Wellington, implies. He's just a famous British military hero. That's all you really need to know about him for this video.
And Carlton and his dance?
Well, a picture says 1,000 words, so I'm guessing this moving picture we're about to show says like 300,000.
It's not unusual to be lonely. It's not unusual to have fun with anyone.
Karl, these two people are centuries apart.
Also, one of them's not real.
Yeah, so I'm guessing Wellington didn't do the actual Carlton dance.
No, he didn't do the actual Carlton dance before people go to the comments and say, that's not the Carlton dance. What he did is he did a dance that I'd say sounds very, very similar to the Carlton dance, given the descriptions of it we have from people who were there and witnessed it firsthand.
So why was he doing this dance?
It's because Napoleon had abdicated and he was very, very excited. It was also very out of character. We're going to discuss in more detail in a moment just how famously stoic and unemotional the Duke was, but first we should discuss the dance that he danced that day. According to eyewitnesses who witnessed, I guess, the Duke received the news that Napoleon had abdicated, would later claim that the Duke, upon hearing the news, immediately dropped what he was doing and began dancing a wildly flamboyant flamenco while clicking his fingers and jumping from side to side. And I don't know about you, but that sounds an awful lot like the Carlton dance, doesn't it?
That's how I would describe the Carlton dance.
Yeah, it's like, it's a wild, like, flamenco type dance where, like, punctuated by the clicking of fingers from side. I'm not going to do it because I'm going to spill my tea and just throw it all over your wall, and no one needs that. But from that description, that does sound an awful lot like the Carlton dance, doesn't it?
So how out of character was this for the Duke?
Amazingly out of character, to the point where people who saw it firsthand were like, what the hell is going on? Because he had a reputation as being like very stern and eerily robot-like, to the point where he would chastise his own men for cheering when they won battles.
So they're celebrating not being dead, and he's
like,
like, stop that!
Stop it! That is not the British way to do things. The Duke was an ambassador for British stoicism and stiff upper lipness. There's a famous story about a time he was on a battlefield with Lord Henry Paget, a guy he apparently didn't get on all that well with because, like, Paget married his sister or some shit. It's like, yeah, British history is like an episode of EastEnders. But anyway, Paget and the Duke were walking along a battlefield, and Paget suddenly just like fell over because his leg exploded because he'd been hit by a cannon which tore through, I think, like his right knee and blew his leg all the way off. And his only response was to look at the Duke and say, "My God, sir, I think I lost my leg." And Duke of Wellington looked at him and said, "By God, sir, I think you're right."
My God, sir, I've lost my leg.
My God, sir, so you have.
And that's an actual exchange that happened between two British, like, military commanders. And doesn't that just sum up British people?
That sounds like Monty Python.
That's like that is Monty Python. That is like, it's just a flesh wound. Like Lord Henry Paget looks down and goes, "By God, sir, I think I've lost my leg." His leg is across the fucking battlefield.
Look, you stupid bastard, you've got no arms left. Yes, I have. Look, it's just a flesh wound.
Do you know the best part about that story? Yeah. Like Henry Paget was also quite famous for being very reserved, very stoic, not showing like any emotion whatsoever. Like there was a time where he said he was on a battlefield once and he had his horse shot out from under him 3 times, and his only response was to simply ask for a new horse. Like he dusted himself off, like, "Can I just get a new horse? Anybody?"
Chiswick, fresh horse!
And while he was having surgery, obviously to remove what was left of his mangled limb, they said like a doctor walks into the room and his first response was, "Where is the injured man?" Because Paget was just sat there really calmly with a gaping leg wound, just sat like reading. And he walked over and took his pulse and said, "I don't even know if this man's injured." So he's got like a really steady heartbeat.
Whole leg gone, eh?
Yes.
How does it feel?
Stings a bit. Well, it would, wouldn't it?
And throughout the entire surgery, Paget never said a word. Like, he didn't flinch, he didn't scream, and they asked him halfway through, are you okay? And do you know what Paget's response was? And this is so fucking badass. He went, the knife feels a little blunt. Oh my God. What a great story that is. If you'd like to hear more about that, I wrote an article for Today I Found Out, which Simon Whistler narrated. So go watch that. They need all the help they can get. That lowly 1 million subscribers. Like, what's that about? What's that about? I should probably mention it because someone might say, oh, you heard that in a Today I Found Out video. It's like, no, I wrote the script for that video. I'm not ripping it off. I may as well mention as well, that quote made it into another article I wrote of the top 10 most British sentences ever uttered for TopTenz. Also narrated by Simon Whistler. And there's some great ones on there that I fucking love. And I think my personal favourite is like from Francis Drake when he heard like, oh no, the Spanish Armada's here. He was playing a game of bowls. And where are they? Just over the horizon, sir. Oh, perfect. That means I've still got time to finish this game of bowls. I love British humour. It's like British people, like when like back in the day, they were the kind of people like you stabbed them and send a complaint by mail. It's great. Moving back to the Duke of Wellington specifically, another thing he could not stand was so-called creature comforts of lesser men, such as a bed. So even when he became the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, the Duke of Wellington insisted upon sleeping in a standard issue army cot. That's not a life for me, I could not live.
You couldn't live without a bed.
Without my bed, I'd be like, no. What is life? You spend a third of your life asleep. Why would I spend it uncomfortable? I mean, like, that's willingly saying I'm going to spend a third of my life waking up going, oh, my back.
Where's the oddest place you've ever slept?
Bench. I fell asleep after a night out and woke up. And I checked my pockets, my phone's still here. Oh, I've still got 5 in my pocket. So I went to McDonald's and got a Big Mac and then went to uni. And forgot that the night out I'd been on the night before was like a UV party. So I was just covered in UV paint. And I walked in and sat down, Carl, you okay? Yeah, fine. Well, actually it's just everywhere, mate. Looked in like the mirror of like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Do you have any other examples of how reserved the Duke was?
Well, being a military man through and through, in addition to always sleeping like a standard issue army cot bed, he also insisted on eating nothing but slices of cold meat and bread for every meal, which was the same things that his soldiers got. Much to the annoyance of his staff, because obviously they had to eat the same thing too. And I can imagine like, oh yeah, I get to go like, dine with the Duke, like His Majesty's most famous commander. I wonder what like opulent, extravagant meal he's going to serve for us. And they go, it's like basically spam on bread. And he's like, come on, eat up, it's a hearty meal. If it's good enough for the soldiers, it's good enough for us. And you can't really argue with that, can you?
Just preparing your bedroom, they see a cot being dragged through the back.
Just dragging like a bench and just fucking like putting
hay on it.
Just to probably point out as well, the Duke was also a huge asshole to anyone of a lower social class than him, which, considering he was a fucking Duke, meant he was a dick to everybody.
You speak when you're spoken to! And if you'd rather be flayed across a gun carriage, well...
It seems so strange that he would choose to sleep in ill comfort and eat soldiers' food when he considers them less than him.
No, he liked soldiers. I'm talking people of a lower social class.
A social class.
Yeah, it's like he loved all his soldiers, he respected all his soldiers, obviously, because they were fighting for him, and that's why he did this. Like, he ate the same food as them and slept the same way as they did, as a sign of solidarity. But when like he met like people in the street who were like, less important than he was, he just acted like a dick. So when they came to like eat at his meals, and it's like, oh, were you in the military then? Actually, no. My father is a baron, and I just studied at like a school, and I paint. That guy is not leaving that party without a backhand from the Duke. So you can imagine he didn't like that sort of thing, did he? Because obviously he was a military man, and a military man to the end. After hearing all this, you can probably imagine the shock and surprise people experienced when they saw the Duke drop his cast iron facade upon hearing the news that Napoleon abdicated. Luckily for us, the thing the Duke decided to do was something so incredibly stupid, we remember it centuries later. Dance an excitable merry jig like a tiny child. Oh my God, it's so fucking warm today. People probably noticed watching the video that my face has just got slowly redder as the video's gone on, and that's because I'm stood surrounded by hot lights next to a fucking PC and like 40 pieces of electrical equipment in a room that the sun faces. God, I hate hot weather so much. It sucks so much ass.
See, you were complaining about this when you first walked into the room, and yet you decided to get yourself a fucking cup of tea.
Mate, it might be hot, but I'm still goddamn British. This is my breakfast, man. If I didn't have this, I'd die. Man, a cup of tea is like entitled, man, for all British people. It's in the fucking Magna Carta, man. You've got to have a cup of tea. God, do I hate the heat. I hate it so goddamn much. I do not thrive in hot weather. Oh my God. It's like, I think when I went to Italy last year and I sweated so much, so I decided to wear a jumper to go out for an evening meal, not realising that, oh my God, it's still like 30 degrees at 8 o'clock at night here. And I'm pretty sure I sweated through that entire thing till my grey jumper looked black.
Why don't you take the jumper off?
Because I was even sweatier underneath.
You made the mistake of wearing one of those tops where it's incredibly obvious that
Yes, I did. A light grey jumper and underneath that, a light grey t-shirt. Oh my, it was awful. Because I remember there was a group of Australian dudes, and obviously they fucking love the sun in one of the hostels we were staying in. And they were like, saw me like, mate, are you okay? I went, no, I'm not. I'm not, this is not good. Like, I'm hot. And they're like, this is not hot, down in Oz.
What are you talking about? It's bloody cold here.
Basically, yeah. And like, they didn't know what sunburn was. Because apparently just like Australian people just don't get sunburn. And I got sunburn and came in and I was like, red. I'll try and find one of the pictures because I was like completely and utter, I was like a lobster. And I went in and I went, oh lads, you said you've never seen sunburn. Have a look at this. And I put my hand there and went like that and the big handprint appeared like, what the fuck is that? They didn't know what sunburn was. They couldn't like fathom that people get burned by the sun.
Do you reckon that means they get frostbite at like British temperatures?
Presumably, I think most people do. But they were like baffled by the idea that I was hot and I'm there like, I hate this. This is the worst day of my life. I'm so hot. And they just sat there just chilling. No, it's quite nice. It's lovely temperature. No, it's not. It's bullshit. This place sucks. It's full of ants. I hate it. It's the worst.
At least here you can have a shower between every video.
Yeah. Because the shower's hot.